challenge of Tower of Time.
Exactly. So we are beginning now the race. We are playing as the ninja, who's going to be the messenger in the story. In the beginning, we start in Ninja Village, where we prepare our whole lives, I guess, for this moment where a demon army attacks every like 500 years. It's like a curse, and the Western hero arrives to save the day. So we're gonna be the only survivor of the whole Ninja Village, I guess, and we're gonna be assigned to be the messenger, as Vasco said, to deliver the scroll. Right now, the Ninja Village works like as an introduction to one really important mechanic in the game, and that is Cloud Step. Cloud Step is the one ability that defines this game, I would say. Because every time you hit an object or an enemy, you can jump again in the air, and that is by far one of the most satisfying abilities in any game that I've played recently.
Totally agreed. Along with all the other movement options that this game has, it makes it very satisfying to play.
Right, you can see here the Demon Army attacks. The Western hero arrives a little bit late, so Ninja Village, the whole Ninja Village is destroyed. As the only survivor, we are going to be the messengers. And right off the bat, without like wasting any time, we're going to begin our journey, I guess, and we're gonna move to Autumn Hills, the first level in the game, which kind of works as an introduction, I guess, to the game. Not necessarily the most difficult level, but for a speedrun, there are like a couple of small things, small optimizations.
Yeah, the first thing we're looking at is getting 40 time shards for one of the upgrades, which allows us to slash projectiles and gain a count step off of them.
Yeah, you can see the time start counter on the top right for each runner. Getting 40 is not difficult. Of course, before the shop, I mean, of course there are like a couple of RNG elements in order to get like a specific amount and not waste time. Both of the runs have to collect a couple of extra times from the right side of the wall. Costs a little bit of time, but you know, it's not that big of a deal. So they purchased the Strike of the Ninja. This is the ability that we were talking about. Now they can slash enemy projectiles, and as you can see right here, for example, they can slash a fireball. Oh, okay. Kodran is using that technique, I guess, in that room. It's pretty much the same. Slashing a projectile and gaining cloud step. It will allow us to do a lot of really cool maneuvering, I guess. Okay, really nice damage boost there from KuningasEST. Kodran unfortunately misses it. We don't have a recovery from taking damage, so unfortunately we'll have to rely a little bit on luck on that one. It depends on like your position on the spike, whether you go forward or backwards. Kuni did have like better positioning there, so he went a bit forward. So a slightly lead for KuningasEST right here.
Yeah, and also one very cool mechanic that this game has is that the music gets slightly muffled when you're in the water, which is one of the awesome things this game
Exactly.
has.
This mechanic makes a lot of people say, you know, wow, this is really cool. And I agree. Shoutouts to Red Boy Dragon Eyes, by the way, the composer of this game, because he made insane soundtrack, really amazing soundtrack. Okay, they're both opting for like the safer approach, taking the damage boost on the Saw Blade in the previous room. You can go above that spike tower as you saw there, but it's really not that easy. I would say it's really risky for a race to go for it, so going for the damage boost on the Saw Blade is something that I can definitely understand why they're going for it. Right, really cool skip coming up right now. Usually the intended way on that in the next room is to go all the way to the right and tank the swing, but we're gonna utilize Cloud Step and jumping properly to skip the whole section. KuningasEST getting a perfect swing right here. Kodran gets it as well. Nicely done from both of them.
And next up for them will be the Leaf Golem fight. Here we're looking to get 130 time shards to purchase, for one, the Shuriken upgrade, as well as an upgrade which allows us to recover from damage. And both of those will be used in the next two bosses as well as the other ones to save a bit of time.
Exactly. Shurikens, because, well, you know, it does fit the purposes of one cycling boss and stuff, but also because we're ninjas, right? We need shurikens to fit the whole picture, I guess. And the second wind, the recovery from taking damage, is super useful. And as Vasco said, we're going to be using that for a boss later on to save a little bit of time. But also, in general, it's like a really nice safety window, I guess.
Yeah, you can use both the shurikens and the second wind on pretty much every boss, or it's useful on every boss, that is, except for the second wind on this first boss. But as you can see, they're kind of throwing the shuriken while they're slashing, which increases the damage they are doing.
Yeah, the shuriken doesn't really cancel the slash, so the 3 shurikens add 3 extra points of damage, I guess, without like interrupting the slash, so you can get the one cycle like that. Alright, before we go to Catacombs, this level field is like a filler level. We cannot really proceed any further, so we fall into the Catacombs. I'm gonna have to say once again that this is the semi-finals of the tournament, and these two races are amongst like the best. Kuningas is the world record holder for this category, and Kodran is in 3rd place right now. The PBs are really close to each other, and about 30 minutes before this race, we were having a community race, and they finished with 1 second apart. So, you know, anything can happen in these races, and it's really exciting to see.
Indeed. Yeah, and both of them getting the crusher skips cleanly. But Kuningas seems to have very few time shards so far. That might be a problem later on.
Yeah, not a lot of time shards from Kuningas. He might have to take a couple of extra in a specific level in Bamboo Creek. He will have to adapt, I guess, depending on the situation. It's not really that big of a deal. Catacombs is a level that has like a lot of dangerous spots, right? Crashes insta-kill you. Spikes in this game deal 3 points of damage. So whenever you are on that like 3 HP window, I guess, you will die if you get hit by the spikes. So when you have like a lot of spikes in a room, in a level, you know, the level becomes like really difficult.
Catacombs can be a very punishing level if you die, because the checkpoints are very few and far apart. So if you die, you lose at least 30 seconds for every single checkpoint.
Yeah, I would say that both Catacombs and another level later on, Howling Grotto, are the most punishing when it comes down to checkpoints, I think. Really nice movement from both of the runs, I have to say. They're going through those rooms really fast. Small lead that Kuningas had right from Autumn Hills is carrying over, of course, right here. Both of them getting sub 850 enter on the 3 Wizard Row room, which is like really insane, I need to say. Okay, both of them have 5 HP, they're going to do this damage boost. This is like the really scary part, I guess, of the level. If you're not having the HP, you cannot do the damage boost, so you're going to lose a lot of time. So both of them luckily do have the HP and they do the damage boost. Honestly, I don't see any mistakes from either of them. Like, I guess just minor like mistakes. Right here, for example, Kuningas missed the lantern, but the rest was pretty clean from all of them, from both of them.
Kunin also going. Oh, yeah. Kunin just missed one of the harder skips in this game because you can get an earlier cycle on that crusher, but if you mess up just once, it's basically over, and you would die if you did go for it.
yeah, that miss cycle puts them really close to each other, just like a couple of seconds apart, like 4 or 5 seconds. But this boss fight might actually change the lead. Let's see what RNG either of those to get. Kuningas with a good RNG on the vaccine fight, and Kodran with a good RNG as well. Nice. It's really nice to see that both of them getting the good RNG, getting a really quick kill. 1 hit only. Let's see Kodran. 3 hits, but still a really fast kill.
Very well done by both of them, and also the good RNG feels nice to get.
Alright, here we are now, Bamboo Creek, and this level is definitely one of the most exciting levels, I have to say, for the speedrunners. A lot of double slashing all the lanterns, getting like proper cloud steps. This is probably one of the it's the most fun level, I suppose, combination with together with Glacial Peak, as far as speedrunning goes.
And also they are the levels with the best music in this speedrun, so kind of fits.
Bamboo Boys, as I see in chat. Definitely, we're getting that. Okay, Kuningas actually lost a little bit of time in the previous room, and now Kodran actually caught up to him. We see that they are honestly at the same screen pretty much, and just like a couple of frames apart. This is looking really nice. Kodran shows that he is a little bit of a faster Bamboo Boy in this race.
Let's see if they're going for N2 skip. Next. Oh.
Kodran having a death here again. He had a death in his race yesterday. That's really, really unfortunate there for Kodran. That will definitely cost him. It's not that big of a deal as like, you know, some deaths cost like a lot of time, especially in Catacombs, like the checkpoint was right there. But you can see Kuningas getting every single skip possible. He's storming through Bamboo. Kodran cannot really make any big mistakes anymore. Let's see if he goes for the N2 skip. He will not go for it. I guess it's wise, like if he doesn't really feel comfortable with it. But still hard jump now for him. First try. Kuningas with the elevator skip. Really nice slashes. Kuningas had pretty much the perfect later stage of Bamboo. The early game was a little bit off. Now he also has to collect a little bit of time shards, so wasting a little bit of time, but a really good thing from him. A really nice level.
And now we're on to Howling Grotto, which is also one of the more punishing levels, but here we're getting the next upgrade in the wingsuit, which allows us to glide in the air, as well as we're buying 2 other upgrades. For one, water dash, as well as the ability to slash while you're gliding with the wingsuit, which are both pretty good time savers. Although we're just getting the water dash to get the wingsuit slash.
Yeah, the glide attack is definitely a really nice upgrade. In Howling Grotto, it's not really utilized that much, but it's definitely like really nice to have it, I suppose. Also, I really need to point out that Kodran did another strat because he didn't have enough time shards. He had to go under the last shop in Bamboo to gather enough time shards. There's like a backup crystal there, because when you die, a little demon spawns, a global is his name, so he will eat your time shards as long as he's up. So Kodran didn't have enough, so he had to go for the backup. We get the hay in the proper point there for Kuningas, the hay in the Shang, of course. You need to get in that specific Donkey Kong room, I guess, as we call it, to know that you're in the best possible pace in Grotto. Really clean movement so far from Kuning in this level. Doing the swag jump in between the fireballs as well. Kodran is having a really good grotto as well, just like that small hiccup in the Bamboo Creek. Small room that caused him trouble in both races, yesterday and today. Alright, so this is the only place where we're gonna utilize the boost, the underwater boost. Kuningas didn't really get the best possible boost right there. We'll see if Kodran actually gets like the better out of it, I guess. The most out of it, I should say. But yeah, really clean level for both of them. It's not necessarily the most difficult level, but there are like a lot of smaller things that you need to pay attention. Kodran had slightly better, but not like the greatest underwater boost right there in Grotto. And Kuni moves on to the boss, the Emerald Golem, and Vasquez, you can tell us a little bit of what's going on in this fight. So basically, the way to do this fight is you hit the core 7 times, this slashes, and then you throw a shuriken for the 8th hit while you go to the left or the right, and then you slash to do like enough damage and then potentially get a 2-cycle fight. Kuni actually gets a really great Howling Grotto boss here in Emerald Golem. I haven't seen that fast strat there. That was really clean from Kuni.
Yeah, now the spirit can also have 2 ways. He can go either to the left or the right, and the left is obviously better because when we go down now here, it's faster if you end on the left side of the screen.
Really nice fight there from Kuni. He's down with Howling Grotto. Kodran getting the 2-cycle here as well in Emerald Golem. A really nice clean fight from Kodran as well. Let's see how he handles the Emerald Spirit, I guess.
And both of them having the same RNG so far on both bosses. And on Kuni's side, you can see now the next level in Quitch Marsh, which is pretty straightforward. This is a lot of just forward movement. You're just going through the level, big screens, very little movement to downwards, and you're just trying to get through it, I guess. And here's one of the times where the Wingsuit Slash is very practical because it can save, I think, up to 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's
slow it on.
Yeah, it's about more or less 5 seconds save because of the glide attack. You see this specific room that Kuningas is on right now is the longest room in the in this run, and you can actually do it without stopping holding right. So this is ridiculous that you can do this without stopping holding right. I mean, say constant movement. It's also such a long room that, despite the fact that the runs are about 20 to 25 seconds apart, when Kuningas was at the end of the screen, Kodran was done with the 1/4 of the screen, so it's about like a 30 to 35 second screen. Oh, nicely done here, Kuningas skipping these sections. There's also another small skip right here, using half step properly to go above the spikes. Again, not stopping holding right. It's like really ridiculous. Kodran is having a really good push from Mars as well. Not too shabby.
Both of them doing very well.
Again, it feels like this race so far, the difference is that one death that Kodran had at Bamboo Creek, because at that point they were tied pretty much. Kodran actually managed to catch up to Kuningas because of that sloppy beginning in Bamboo Creek from Kuni, but Yeah, that death is definitely a little bit costing right here. Okay, final stretch there for Kuni on the Crucial Mars. Not necessarily the easiest screens. There is a potential skip that you can do here on these spikes. He's going for it! Oh no! He gets the death. He went for a really risky skip right here, and unfortunately he died. That puts Kodran in the lead.
Behind. Wow.
Now that's an interesting turn of events right here. So yeah, there is a potential skip that you can do, and now Kuningas gets a really bad RNG here on the Green Golem. Really clean level from Kodran overall, and you can see that Kuningas now, because of that death, I need to say that Crucial Mars last checkpoint, I guess, is really separate, I guess. All the other sections have really close checkpoints, but it's just like that specific last section for Crucial Mars that is difficult with the checkpoint, and you can see it from Kuningas' screen. He gets his punished for that.
Kodran unfortunately fails the fast kill on the Queen of Wolves.
And we will have another change of lead right now because of that. Kuningas gets the best fight, gets, I guess, the textbook fight on Queen of Quills, while Kodran will lose a little bit of time because he messed up a little bit in the first cycle. So, change of leads once again.
Yep.
So that's a really, really rare thing to see. Both of the runners died before this level, before this boss fight, which means they get an extra dialogue. Usually you don't see it because, you don't die, I guess, before. But yeah, if you die, you get an extra dialogue with the two demons spawning there. So yeah, this is crazy good because now movement becomes really crazy in the Messenger. We're getting the last upgrade, and this upgrade is really amazing.
Yeah, it's the rope dart that allows us to both latch onto enemies and walls to get a slight speed boost, and it's very nice, and you can use it in a lot of places to save time.
Oh no, Kodran. So Kodran didn't really make sure he is like higher enough from the spikes. Fortunately for him, it's right from the beginning of the screen, so he is not really that far away from the checkpoint, but you cannot really allow to make these mistakes. Those small timer losses, they will stack up and they will count in the end. So again, it's not really a huge time loss, but it's a time loss nevertheless. In the meantime, Kuningas has a really, really clean Searing Cracks level. Let's see if he gets this skip right here as well. Using the rope dart, light attack perfectly right there up the platform. Really nicely done.
Just Searing Cracks has a lot of these tiny things that just add up. A lot of the strats are pretty hard, but save very little time. So if you fail one of them, you can lose a lot of time in the end, if it gets more and more.
Yeah, we reached the point of the game where we're gonna have vertical climbing right now, both here in Searing Cracks and in Glacial Peak. So rope darting and glide attacking is gonna be super useful. Also, double slashing lanterns again, not really that much, but it is there.
Yeah, usually instead of double slashing, we're double glide attacking some of the time because it's just safer.
Exactly. Colors and Sisters, this boss fight, we have the twins right here. You can only damage the green guy, I think it's Sisters, right? The green guy, if I'm not mistaken. You can damage him in the front, and then you have Colors where you can damage him at the back only, unless he does like an attack like that. So you're going to be using rope dart to gain specific iframes to change directions, I guess, and also using rope dart and slashing to keep the the proper like distance, I guess, from the bosses without taking a hit and dealing damage to the bosses.
Yeah. And Kuni having a very good fight there, or almost didn't lose that much time, even with the bad RNG.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't really that bad, I think, as far as like the RNG goes. Probably he got like half an extra cycle, I suppose. Kodran yesterday had a really interesting Colors and Sisters fight, so let's see if he actually manages to do one cycle now. He does. Nice.
Yeah, that alleviates a bit of the lead that Kuni had.
Yep. As Kuningas now entering Glacial Peak, and this is by far one of the favorite levels for all speedrunners, I would say.
A lot of intense movement, and you can just... There are a lot of strats that save a bunch of time and are very cool to do.
So yeah, this level has insane vertical climbing. All the positioning from like enemies and lanterns is really insane. You can glide attack and use rope dart at its like best, I think. All the combos here make like a really perfect level for movement. Yeah, really clean movement so far.
Yeah, from both of the runs. It's looking very good.
Yeah, you can understand now how rope dart and glide attack makes movement like really fast in the messenger. Basically, they just like keep using rope dart whenever they can here. It's like ridiculous. Kuningas going for a little bit of swag the upper way. I think it's not necessarily the fastest, but it's not really that much slower, I think.
Ooh, and he's going for one of the most risky strats you can go for, which barely saves any time.
Don't try this.
Single rope chart. Yeah.
Don't try this at home, kids. This is scary part, scary stuff. Alright. That is not that great to do that at home. He reached the top. We're done, right? We deliver the score. Now we have to pass the final test.
And Kodran also going for the risky strat here.
Yeah, alright, that's... I don't know what to say. That's crazy stuff.
Madman.
Yeah. Yeah, out of nowhere, Tower of Time appeared. I guess by holding one scroll up, we do this. We're gonna summon a tower. And they're gonna enter Tower of Time. And boy, this level is tough. Alright, so basically this is more of well, I guess platforming is a little bit intense, but mostly it's try to not get killed level. We have 6 HP because we purchased an HP upgrade from the shop in Syrian Crags. The lasers deal 4 points of damage this time around, and there is a specific skip that involves damage boosting through a laser, I guess, later in the run. So you want to make sure you keep your HP above 5, I guess. 5 or 6, I suppose. So let's see how both of them handle this. Since this can be really tricky, there are like those wish ropes, and that can cause you a lot of trouble. Like for Kuni, he gets really nice spawn right here.
And also one of the worst spawns possible here, because it's a guaranteed hit. He's right below you.
Okay, he only took 1 hit, so he should be fine for the damage boost that is coming up. There's still like one scary room, I guess, to get hit, so let's see if he will be alright. Kodran is having a good time here as well. He got hit once though, which is really unfortunate. He barely gets that cycle as well. That was really scary. he gets really nice pattern then from the whiz rope, so he would not, most likely not get hit. And Kuni approaches the damage boost room right here, so he's gonna glide down with the platform. And then on the right side, you see these lasers. He's not gonna wait for the platform. He's just gonna tank the laser once and go up. Nice damage boost from him. Got some really fast cycles there from the rings. Really clean movement from him. He's gonna get the HP refill in this one. Kodran 5 HP as well, so he's gonna do the damage boost too. Yeah, it seems like both of them are on a good pace here in Tower of Time. Okay, one more scary room, I guess, for Kodran. Gets the fast cycles as well.
Yeah, and from now on it's basically impossible to die, because most of the rooms are very straightforward.
Yeah. Impossible to die, I guess, for, you know, runners at this level. Definitely. Yeah.
It's very unlikely that they'll die.
Yeah. I time waste room here for Kuningas. He's approaching the final stretch of Tower of Time. And the final boss in this category, the 8-bit category, the Arcane Golem. And this fight can be kind of tricky, I guess. But, you know, if you're experienced, you will not really have an issue with it.
Head on to the laser run. Going up. It's not very far until the golem, it's just this room. And Kodran on the other side, coming up on the time waste room. I think they're about 20 seconds apart. So...
maybe a little bit more or less. Yeah, more or less. Yeah, 20-25, I would say. Okay, let's see what strat Kuningas is gonna use. I believe he single rope dart with slashing, not really anything super fancy. So he might do the same thing here. So basically you can like abuse the fact that you're getting cloud step and you can stick to the face. Using rope dart, he's doing 2C special right here. So basically going left and right with rope darting here. A little bit clumsy, but he's doing the job right there. Oh, getting hit multiple times. That's a little bit scary for him. Kuningas? Kidding.
Yeah.
That was a little bit scary, but GG's from him.
Was a very good fight. Probably not very well versed with the 2C special yet. And on the other side, Kodran is close to finishing himself. Just a few more hits.
Yeah, really clean fight from Kodran as well. Nicely done from both of the runners. GG's to both of them. Kuni will get the first run here, the first win. I have to say that it's a best of 3, once again, semifinals right here. Getting a time of 32-41 with a death and 33-14 with a death as well. It's really good from both of them. Actually, Kodran had 2 deaths, but I guess both of the deaths were really short. So, yeah, it's really nice that we see both of them getting a really good time here. So, I think we'll set up for the next race. It's just like a couple of seconds, I don't know, maybe a minute, depending on how the runners feel. So, we'll be right back.